Hello students, welcome to the video series of Mathematics 2nd for class 9th. And here this is the fourth video regarding the properties of quadrilaterals and some of the examples related to the properties. So today we are going to see some of the properties of rectangle, square, rhombus. And then we have to see the next properties of the trapezium also. So here the first property of rectangle, as you all are knowing this property only, we are going to prove here this property by the logical proof, that is direct proof. So what is the property? Let's see. Diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. Diagonals of rectangle are congruent. Two diagonals are there in a quadrilateral, and in a rectangle these diagonals are congruent. This is the property we have to prove. So here we need to draw the diagram, that is the diagram of the rectangle is there. All the four angles of a rectangle are of 90 degree. Then what is given? Diagonals of a rectangle. So here what is given? The type of quadrilateral is given, that is rectangle. So it's a given thing, rectangle, and we have to prove the property, that is diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. So we'll write here in the given, quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle, and to prove diagonal AC is congruent to diagonal BD. Now for this purpose we have to consider here two particular triangles, of which AC and BD are the sides. AC and BD are the sides. So which are the particular two triangles? You can find out in the figure. Here the triangle are triangle BAD. Actually you can consider another pair of triangles also, but here let's consider triangle BAD. I have marked it with the bold lines, BAD, and triangle CDA. Now here we have to show that these two triangles are congruent to each other. And for understanding, if I draw here the small one figure, the two triangles are like this. This is your A, B, D. This is A, D, C. So these two triangles in the figure, we have to prove that they are congruent. So here we can see, first of all, AB is congruent to DC. Opposite sides of the rectangle are congruent. One element. Second element we'll see, angle A is congruent to angle D. This A and D are congruent as they are each 90 degree. Angle BAD is congruent to CDA because both of them are 90 degree. Every angle of a rectangle is 90 degree. Then that is the second element. So first element is over, second is over, third element we need. Third element is side AD congruent to side AD, which is the common side. And therefore by these three elements we can say both the triangles are congruent by SAS test of congruency of the triangles. Now once we have proved that both the triangles are congruent, we can say that side AC and side BD, they are congruent by CSCT, corresponding sides of congruent triangles. And these sides are nothing but the diagonals, therefore diagonal AC is congruent to diagonal BD. In this way we can prove that diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. Similarly, we can have the same property for the square also. In place of rectangle, the property of the square will be like this, that diagonals of square are congruent. So same way you have to prove the property of the square regarding diagonals. Let's solve the examples depending on the properties of rectangle, square and rhombus. And you have to learn these properties and you have to apply these properties for whatever the examples are asked to solve here. So this is the first example related to the rectangle. Okay, properties of the rectangle. Question is like this. Example is, diagonals of a rectangle ABCD intersect at point O. This is the rectangle ABCD. Diagonals are intersecting in point O. If AC is 8 cm, that is one of the diagonal is 8 cm, then find BO. That is the part of second diagonal is asked. If angle CAD is 35 degree, then find out angle ACB. This angle we have to find out. For this purpose, we have to use suitable properties of rectangle which are needed here. So here, one of the diagonal is given, that is 8 centimeter. So second diagonal is also 8 centimeter. So both of the diagonals, they have 8 centimeter same length, because what property we are going to use here of the diagonals of the rectangle? That is, diagonals of a rectangle are congruent and they bisect each other. So if they are bisecting each other, from that we can find out BO. BO is half of the whole diagonal, that is BD. So we can write BO is equal to half of DB. So that is half of 8 means 4 centimeter. In this way we can find out answer of the first measurement what is asked. Second one, if angle CAD is 35 degree, then what is the measure of angle ACB? So if you give attention here, this angle CAD and angle ACB are alternate angles. Why? Because here side AD is parallel to side BC. Opposite sides of rectangle are parallel. And if we consider this AC is a transversal, then we can say that these two angles, angle CAD and angle ACB, are the alternate angles. Alternate angles are congruent. Angle CAD is 35 degree. So angle ACB is also of 35 degree. So here we can use the property, that is opposite sides of the rectangle are parallel, as well as alternate angle theorem also we can use. And in this way we can apply the properties of the quadrilateral to find out the answer of the question which are asking particular examples. Let's see the second example. In the second example, it is given that in a rhombus PQRS, so this quadrilateral rhombus we have to draw. In rhombus PQRS, if PQ is equal to 7.5, then find QR. PQ is given 7.5, so what is the length of QR? Next, angle QPS, that is angle QPS is 75 degree, then find the measure of angle PQR. PQR means this angle, and angle SRQ. SRQ means this one. So here we'll use the properties of rhombus. Okay. So first of all, regarding sides, what are the properties? PQ and QR, they both are equal because all sides of rhombus are congruent. So what is length of PQ? That is the length of QR. PQ is 7.5. So QR is also 7.5. In this way we can find out the first one which is asked, that is find QR. Then next property is there regarding angles. If you give attention here, angle QPS and angle SRQ in the figure, they are opposite angles. And the property of opposite angles of the rhombus are, that is the opposite angles of the rhombus are congruent. So what is the measure of angle QPS? That is the measure of angle SRQ, both are equal. So therefore angle SRQ is equal to 75 degree. As both of these are equal, we can say that this is 75 degree. Then we have to find out angle PQR. Here, if you give attention here, we have learned that every rhombus is a parallelogram. Every rhombus is a parallelogram, so the property of the parallelogram we can apply here in the rhombus. What is that? That the adjacent angles, whether angle P and Q or Q and R, any one adjacent pair you can take, adjacent angles are supplementary and therefore their sum is 180. So we can write here angle QPS, this one, plus angle PQR is equal to 180 degree. Substitute the value or the measure of angle QPS and you will get angle PQR is equal to 105 degree. Okay, so it's so simple that if you learn the properties, if you know the properties of the quadrilateral, particular type of quadrilateral, you can easily apply these properties and find out whatever is asked to find. Aren't they very simple examples? Yes. Let's have one example related to square. So this is the third example given here, that diagonals of square IJKL intersect at point M. So this is the square, all sides are equal, all angles are right angle, it's a square and diagonals are intersecting at point M. Find the measures of angle IMJ. IMJ means this one, JIK this, and LJK means this one. Okay. So here mark down the angles which are asked in the figure. Here we'll use the properties of the square. rough figure of the square is drawn. It's not exactly square, may not be there, but rough figure we have to draw and use the property, apply the property. That is the main concept here. So at the quadrilateral IJKL is a square. Diagonal property we'll use here. Diagonals of the square are perpendicular to each other. So angle IMJ is equal to 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. So in place of this we can write now here, this is 90 degree. The next one is there, that is we have to find out this half of angle I and half of angle J. So both are half of 90 because the diagonals of square bisect opposite angle. So here if we consider the diagonal IK, it bisects angle I. So JIK is equal to half of angle JIL, that is 45 degree. Each angle of a square is 90 degree, so half of that is 45 degree. So here we can find out angle JIK. Similarly, we can find out here angle LJK because it is half of angle IJK and it is bisected by the diagonal LJ. So we can find out here angle LJK is equal to 45 degree. So like that way, diagonal property we can use here and find whatever is asked to find. Okay. Let's learn about the another type of quadrilateral, that is trapezium. Already you have learned about the trapezium. What is the trapezium? The shape of the trapezium we are aware of. Here, out of 4 sides, the one pair of opposite side is parallel. So the quadrilateral in which only one pair of opposite sides is parallel, such a quadrilateral is called as trapezium. So here in this quadrilateral PQRS, it's a trapezium because side PS is parallel to side QR. Note here, side PQ is not parallel to side SR. And if in a trapezium, the non-parallel sides are congruent. In a trapezium, if non-parallel sides are congruent, then such a trapezium is called as isosceles trapezium. It is called as isosceles trapezium. And here you can see side PS is parallel to side QR. And this arrow I have shown to understand that these two sides are parallel, not congruent. And PQ is congruent to SR. And therefore this is isosceles trapezium. If we join the midpoints of two non-parallel sides, opposite sides of the trapezium, then it is called as median of the trapezium. So let's see some of the examples related to trapezium from practice set 5.4. In the first example here, quadrilateral IJKL is given and side IJ is parallel to LK. Angle I is 108 degree, angle K is 53 degree, and we are asked to find out angle J and N. This is the question. Now here we have to use the property of the trapezium, that is by definition. That is, trapezium is a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite side is parallel. So here which pair is given parallel? Side IJ and LK. So if we take here IL is a transversal. If we take IL as a transversal here, then angle I plus angle L, these two are adjacent angles, or we can say interior angles. More than adjacent angle, we will say that they are interior angles because they are formed by the parallel sides and the transversal. So here we can see that angle I plus angle L is equal to 180 degree, interior angles. So their sum is 180, will fill the value of measure of angle I, and we get angle L is equal to 72 degree. Similarly, if we see transversal JK, on the transversal JK we are able to see angle J plus angle K is their sum is 180 degree because interior angles, and therefore if we substitute here the measure of angle K, we can get angle J is equal to 127 degree. This is the second example on trapezium, that is isosceles trapezium. In this quadrilateral ABCD, side BC is parallel to side AD, BC and AD are parallel, side AB and side DC they are congruent, and angle A is given 72 degree, so we have to find out measure of angle B and D. This is the question. Now see here, here we have to use the property of the isosceles trapezium. Do you notice here that in this quadrilateral, one pair of opposite side is parallel and the other non-parallel side, the pair of non-parallel sides is congruent to each other. Therefore here, as BC is parallel to AD and side AB is congruent to side DC, this is isosceles trapezium. And so we can use here property of the isosceles trapezium, that is base angles of isosceles trapezium are congruent. So we can say here angle A and angle D, they are congruent to each other. Measure of angle A is 72 degree. So measure of angle D is also 72 degree. Then next way to find out measure of angle B. If you see side BC is parallel to AD and on the transversal BA, we can see angle B and angle A. Interior angles are there. Correct? So angle B plus angle A is equal to 180. Interior angle theorem we will use here. Substitute the measure of angle A and find out angle B. It is 108 degree. So it is very clear that if we are knowing the properties of particular quadrilateral properly if we are knowing, then we can make use of them. We can apply these properties and have the solution of the examples.